All right, A2P 10DLC registration in 2026. If you're confused about it, what it is, how to register, or if you're struggling to get your account or your client's account registered, well, you came to the right place because you're not alone. A lot of people struggle with this. So I'm going to walk you through my step-by-step process on getting accounts registered for A2P. Now, I've done over 100 A2P registrations, so I'll walk you through exactly what I do, how to get registered, and registrations that I've done usually are within a 1 to 2, sometimes a 1 to 3 day registration period. So stick with me in this video. I'm going to go over what A2P is, why you need to register for it, and exactly how to do it, my step-by-step process. So let's go ahead and dive in. First off, what is A2P 10DLC? Kind of a mouthful, right? Well, A2P 10DLC stands for Application to Person 10-digit long code. What the heck does that mean? Application to person means any business using software to send text messages to US customers need to register the 10-digit long code is your typical 10-digit number in the US. 3-digit area code followed by the 7-digit number. If your business is using 10-digit long code, which most businesses are, so those you need to register. And so quick backstory of what A2P 10DLC is. The government wanted to crack down on all the different spam text messaging out there. So they were going to dictate that everybody needs to register their businesses. Well, all the cell phone carriers, they came together, AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, all them, they came together, formed their own entity called the TCR, the Campaign Registry. And they basically said to the government, no, we're going to take care of it. We're going to police ourselves and we're going to implement registration. So the idea behind this is to minimize the amount of spam text messages that people out there send. So you have to register your business. It's tied back to your specific business, or if you're doing a sole proprietor, it's tied back to you specifically as an individual. And so if you violate any of the procedures and you send out bad text messages, you get people blocking you, then the TCR, they can come back and they can fine you. They can shut your business down from sending text messages. So this is a big deal. Some of the things that have changed since my last video in 2023 is originally it was you can send text messages in the beginning, you would just be throttled on your text messages until you got registered. However, now they changed it in 2025. Now, unless you're registered, no messages are going to be sent out. They're all going to be blocked. So you need to get registered. What I'm also going to do this video is show you how to register toll-free. And so we'll dive into that at the end, which is a very similar process, just some slight differences. Now, in this specific video, I'm going to be teaching how to register using the software HighLevel. It's going to be very similar to pretty much any platform. The whole general process is going to be the same. The concepts are, but I'm going to be showing you in HighLevel. So you're going to see that user interface. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into my account here and let's walk through exactly how to get you registered. All right, now the first thing is you're going to want to gather some information. The information you're going to need is your business name, you're going to need your business EIN, and your business address. Those are going to be the main things that you're going to need for this. Ideally, if you can get your CP 575, that document is this one right here. It's an example. This is the actual document you get from the IRS that assigns you your employer identification number, EIN. So some things you're going to need on here is you're going to need the EIN. You're going to need the name of your business. It does matter exactly how your business is spelled out. Also, you're going to need your business address. Now, if you're going to be registering a sole proprietor, which is fine, you can do that. I'll cover that a little bit later in this video, and I'll have timestamps down in the description so you can jump to that part. But essentially, if you don't have your EIN, so you're running sole proprietor, you can register using a phone number that's tied to you. So aka your specific cell phone number. You can't use a number that you get on software from, say, HighLevel or Twilio or something else like that. It has to be a number that's registered to you. But back here for the business registration, if you can get your CP575, this would be ideal, because if any of this is off, such as you put in ST for street instead of STREET, then that can actually cause your registration to come back failed, meaning it's an automated system. So they initially look at what's on your CP575 or what's actually registered in their system. And if it's off, I've even seen off by, like I said, the street being spelled out ST versus STREET. I've seen registrations come back rejected that way. So you want to make sure you get the exact wording, the exact phrasing the way it is on your document here. That's what they're going to look at, and that'll get you the quickest approval. All right, so now that you got your CP575, there is another thing that we need. We need your form or your method of actually collecting the customer's information. And so you're going to need basically your funnel that you're going to be using, or your form, or whatever it is that you're going to be using to collect the customer's information. So some of the requirements, and I'll provide the links to the HighLevel pages that goes over all these requirements. I'll provide them down in the description. But what you're going to need here is, if you are collecting a phone number, then you're going to need to have these checkboxes. Especially if you're going to be requiring the phone number that they put in, then you need to have both of these in here. And also you can't have the boxes automatically checked. The customer has to physically go and check the box themselves. What these checkboxes really need to say is you need to just let them know that they do consent to receive SMS notifications and alerts from the company. Message frequency varies. Message data rate supply. You can reply stop at any time then subscribe. Then the other one is just letting them know, yes, I agree that I'm going to receive marketing messages from the company. So that you also need your privacy policy and terms of service on the form here or at the bottom of the funnel page. And then just a simple form like this is what you need to get set up. The biggest thing that they're looking for is make sure you know what the requirements are. So once your funnel is set up, now we can actually go back and we can start doing the actual registration. In the sub account, go down to settings, and then we're going to scroll down to phone system. Now, if you don't see Trust Center up here, you only see these phone number and additional settings, then that means your sub account is not set up yet for the LC phone system or HighLevel's phone system. Click on the phone system settings here, or you can click up here and click on switch to agency view. This will take you to your agency view settings. Now from here, you're going to go find that sub account. So we're going to find that sub account. We'll say A2P. And so it's this one right here that we're going to be doing for this demo. Now this says sub account not created. So what we're doing here is we need to create this sub account. Now you can also register with Twilio, but I recommend it's just easier to do it straight through HighLevel using LC phone, which is lead connector phone, which is essentially HighLevel's white labeled version of Twilio. So it's still registered for you, but it's going through HighLevel. They just make it easy this way. So what we're going to do here is click on the three dots and click on link to lead connector. And so what that's going to do is that's going to essentially create a sub account in their Twilio account. Not necessarily that you need to know that, but that's what that's doing. So now that's turned on. Now we can go back into the sub account and we can do the registration. So we're going to go back into here and I'm going to type in, I'm going to go to my sub account, A2P 10DLC. And so now from here, we're going to go down to settings and then we'll go to phone system. Now we see we have a bunch of other tabs on top here, things to do. And the big one is going to be the Trust Center. One of the first things you'll probably want to do is get a phone number. While it's not necessary, I just find it easier since you're going to be sending a text message phone number anyways. Let's go ahead and add a number. So we'll click on add number and then whatever this number I like, sure. And we'll click proceed to buy. Now, when you first do this registration, either first buying a phone number or going through the registration process, any new sub account now, you need to do identity verification. And that's just going to be done one time, but once you do it either here or during the registration process, either way, then that's going to be just verifying your identity. So we'll go ahead and step through this. All you do is click on begin verifying. All right, now once you complete the ID verification, then you'll be brought back to this screen. And you see here, I already got a phone number in here. I also went and got a toll-free number, which I will go over at the end of this video as well. So now what we're going to do is now we're going to click on the start now to register, or you can go to Trust Center, either way. So if I click on Trust Center, it's going to pull up this screen here. And then we're going to start the registration here by clicking on Start Registration. So now in here, we're just going to step through the process of filling this out. First off, put what country you're in, either United States or Canada. I'm in the United States, so that's where we teach in here. Next is, does business have a tax ID? Tax ID would be that CP575 that I showed you earlier. So we're going to check in, yes, the business I'm registered has a tax ID. If you don't, if you're doing sole proprietor, you can do that as well. And you'll check that over here. But if you have a business, then you have to be using your business. They don't like it if you register a sole proprietor, but they see that you have a business, they can actually come back and deny you for that. So make sure you check this box. I don't know why it's not showing it, but check the box. And then we're going to click over here to continue. Now down here, what you're going to do is first we're going to put in your legal business name. So that's going to be from the CP575. The best is just to take what it says in here, and we'll use this for an example for now. All right, so you'll put in your actual one. If it's Inc., if it's LLC, whatever it is, put in the way your business was actually registered. And then we're going to fill this out. So pretty self-explanatory. Is it a LLC, corporation, cooperative? In this case, for this one, we're going to say it's a corporation. What registration type do you have? Now, if you're not in the US and you're in another country, you can register as well. You would just select your specific country that you're in. And now here, the registration ID for this one. Okay, so this one is actually, from this example here, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but put in your actual registration ID. So you put that in there, select your industry. For my case here, I'm just going to say online. And now here, you're going to put in your business email. It's preferred if you have a business email, but if you just have a personal one, that's fine. For this one here, I'm just going to put in one of my off emails for now. Now, you also want to put in your website URL. If you don't have a website yet, you can use the funnel that you have set up in here. For that case, I'm just going to paste in that opt-in URL that we have here. Then go ahead and select the business regions of operation that you're operating in. For this case, I'm going to say USA and Canada, and we'll go next. Next, put in your address from your CP575. Put in exactly the way it is in here. Okay, so we're gonna use that and we'll click continue. Next is the authorized representative. They basically need a point of contact if they ever need to contact someone. So put in your, or the main person point of contact at your business. We'll say Aaron Bells. Then put your main email address in so that they know how to contact you. Phone number, put your phone number in. I'll just leave that for now. And then job position, whatever the job position is. What you're also gonna have to do now, when you do this, is you also need to do an email verification. So it says, please use a business email. Freemium public domain emails require additional verification. Avoid using the same email for more than 5 brands. This is a good point here. You cannot and you should not register all of your clients using your own business, because if one of your clients were to screw up and send bad text messages out, violate any of this, then they can come back and they can shut down your business, which would then shut down all of your clients from sending text messages. So you need to register your actual client's business. Also, you're limited to 5 brands per email. So you're not gonna be able to register all your clients anyways. Okay, so for this example, I'm gonna use my business email here and then I'll click continue. And so now this is gonna pop up where you need to verify your email. So then we're gonna do send OTP. I'm gonna go over to my email and I'm gonna get that one-time passcode. All right, so now I'm back here. I'm going to paste the code in and we're going to do verify. Okay, so now that's verified. Now we're going to get brought to the next screen. We're going to choose either low volume or high volume. Most time you're just going to do low volume unless you're sending out a lot of text message in your established business. Then you go down to high volume. But the low volume gets you 6,000 text messages per day. That's a lot. If you're up to 600,000, then you go with the high volume, but that's going to be a higher registration. That's going to be $71.90.90625. Kind of weird number there, but there's that charge there. Most of you are just going to be under the low volume standard, and that's $24 and some change here. Then there's the additional $3 fast track program that HighLevel does to get you registered quicker. Otherwise, it'll take more than 3 days, could take a week or 2. And then there is also the additional campaign fee that could be up to $11, and that is not dictated by HighLevel or Twilio or anything. That's actually dictated by the TCR. It's something that they do in the back end, and we're not really able to see that or what they're going to charge. They just it does it somehow. Now we're going to click on the checkbox, choose your one. Most likely I just say recommend doing low volume, and then acknowledge and continue. Now in here, this is the important part. So that first part, the business details and the brand details, I'll take a step back. There's 2 parts of the A2P registration. There's the there's the brand registration, which is registering your business. And then there's the campaign registration, which is what you're going to be using the text messages for. All right, let's take a second here. And if you're liking what you're seeing in this video, you're getting content from it, you're finding it valuable, it'd be greatly appreciated if you hit that thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button down below. That way it shows me what type of content you want to see, as well as it shows YouTube what you want to see so you can see similar videos like this. And also I just appreciate it, helps me with my content on this channel here. Another thing, if you want to get the funnel and the form and the custom values all in a snapshot in an easy package that you can easily import right into your account, along with the template messaging that you're going to see, then go ahead and check out my link down in the description. It's a link to my community. Also, you're going to get access to these templates, and I'll see you on the inside. And this will help you get your registrations done quicker and more templated. With that being said, let's get back into the video. All right, now for the campaign details. So in here, the campaign use case, I recommend just keeping it on low volume mixed. That's also the recommended one, but you can choose the appropriate one here. But if you do low volume mixed, that's going to cover whatever use case you're going to use, probably like 2-factor authentication, account notification, customer care, things like that. But if you're setting up for just a specific use case, your text messaging, then go ahead and select that. But in general, I recommend using the low volume mixed. So we have that. Next is the campaign use case description. So they need to know what you're using your text messaging for. And there's an example here of what you can fill in. Also, they have examples over here. So you go ahead and copy and paste these and put these in. I also have my templated messages that I've used to register clients, and that is this one right over here. So I'm going to be using this for this video. So the first one we're going to do is the campaign use case. I'll go ahead and copy this. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to paste that in. And so I'll go over this. What this says is, it says this campaign sends confirmation messages and important reminders to prospects once they opt in and book a call with us on our funnel. Now, they need to see the opt-in funnel here. So you have to make sure you put that in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab our opt-in link again. I'm going to put the opt-in link there. So we have that. Okay, so book a call with us on our funnel and opt in to receive promotional and SMS or notification SMS from us. Our sales team will also communicate with the prospect via SMS to answer any questions they may have about the program. So essentially what I'm saying here is where they're going to opt in and what they're going to be getting from it is receiving promotional messages and also giving a little bit more explanation too, because what they want here is they actually want to see detail. They don't want to see just, I'm going to be sending messages to my clients, to my customers. That's too generic. That's not what they want to see. That's why there's a minimum character length of 40 characters, because the more detail they see about what you're actually using it for, the better. And so that's why I also included this in here. Our sales team will also communicate with the prospect via text to answer any questions they have about the program. So this is a good standard message you can put in here. But again, as I said, have it somewhat detailed for about your business, what you're going to be specifically using it for. Next, they want to see 2 sample messages. Now, the requirements for these sample messages, if you hover actually over any of these eyes here, it's going to give you some more information about tips. But the sample messages, things that you have to have in here, you must include the lead's name, you must include your name, the business name, and the opt-out language. So that has to be in the text message that goes out. Now, this is for the first text message that goes out. You need to have all of this in here, especially the opt-out language, but you really need all of it. Each message after that, you don't necessarily have to have all of that. You don't have to have that every time you're just conversing with the customer, only the first time the message goes out. And again, there's also examples here that you can use, but we're going to use the examples from my template. But you're going to need sample message 1 and 2. So we're going to head back over here and I'm going to take this sample message 1. We're going to come back, paste that in. Now this says, "Hi James." So this would be the customer's name. Put in whatever you want in here. This is Sally from business name. So now in this case, we're going to put in actually what the business name was. So we'll continue with the example I had, and we're going to put that in there. Our appointment is for June 28th at 11 a.m. It's confirmed. Please reach out to, now this is the phone number. I recommend putting in the phone number that we bought in the account earlier. So I'm going to put that in. We'll put that in there. So we'll say that's the phone number that I bought. And then also reply, stop, to subscribe. So the requirements here is lead name, James, your name, Sally, business name, ABCDEF Inc., and opt-out language. Please, or reply, stop, to subscribe. So this meets all those requirements there. And so now we'll go on to sample message number 2. This one I just did another, it's similar, but this is basically another part of the funnel. This is when they first say book an appointment. And now this one is going to, same thing. "Hi James, it's Sally from," and we're going to put in the business name. Put that in. "I see you weren't able to make it to our appointment. Would you like to reschedule? Let me know and I'll send you my calendar link." And reply, stop, and subscribe. One key thing about this is, and I say, I'll send you my calendar link, because down here, now there's the additional message details. And by default, these two are both going to be checked. And I always recommend checking these as well. Embedded link, and then a phone number. So if your messages are going to include an embedded link, AKA say a calendar to book, a reschedule calendar, something like that, then you need to have that in here. And also a phone number. Now you may be questioning, why would I put a phone number in a text message I'm sending out? You may not think that's something you would normally do. However, if you're doing this for your clients or you're running ads for your clients, a lot of times you're going to be sending them a text message, say when a new lead comes in, or say there's a new booking. And you're probably going to put the lead's information there, which would be the lead's phone number. So that's why I recommend checking this box, because you're probably going to include that in some of your text messages. Or this one, please reach out to in case you need to reschedule, something like that. So I'd recommend checking those. These two down here are going to be for more specific use cases. So if you have any of these specific use cases, then you want to check those. After you fill this out, we're going to go continue. And then now here is the user consent. So this part is we have how do contacts opt into messages. So we're going to come back to my template here. We're going to take that one, how do end users consent to receive messages. Come back in here. Before I put that in, we'll see they have an example here. End users opt in by visiting link for filling out the details, receiving, or check a box. Very similar here. End users opt in by visiting our opt-in page. So again, we're going to take this out and we're going to put in the opt-in page there. And it says users check a box to receive notifications and promotional messages from us to provide their consent. Additionally, end users can also text start to, and we're going to put in that phone number again. And so we have that. So they can technically send start and that'll opt them in as well. Now the opt-in message. So this is technically a message that needs to be sent out to them when they first opt in. This one here is going to be worded. Here's how I have it worded. Come back here. It says, you have successfully opted in to receive notifications, promotional SMS from, again, business name. Please reply stop if you need to opt out in the future. Very simple message there, but that's technically a message that needs to go out whenever they opt in. Next is, how are you collecting the user's information and consent? There are several different ways here. In this case, we'll be using a website form. But if you're doing a QR code, if you're doing a paper form, verbal, kiosk, each one's going to have different requirements. So if you're doing a paper form, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take a picture of your form and say, put it in a Google Drive, something like that, where you can take that link and then you put that link in here, because they're going to actually go to that link. They're going to pick it up, or they're going to look at that link and they're going to see, okay, that's the form. You have the requirements on that form. That applies for if you take a picture of your form or if you have the funnel like we set up. Same thing. So you got to make sure it's an actual link that they can go to, because they will go to your website and they will check it out to make sure you're in compliance. We're going to go back to website form for this one, and I'm going to put the link in there again. So here's the opt-in form. If you're doing Facebook lead form, then you have Facebook lead form down here, and so you select that one. That'd be the other most common one people are going to use. And now here, now you have your business website compliance checklist. This is really just going over, check everything out. Make sure we've done it correctly. My opt-in method is clearly shown. Form, QR code, paper, in this case, but it's a website form. My website is live and accessible. Okay, no errors, no broken links. My business website URL and opt-in form link are provided. My opt-in flow is compliant and includes required disclosures. That'd be your privacy policy, terms of service. My terms of service, privacy policy are publishable and acceptable. My website displays accurate business information. My site does not mention purchased or affiliate leads. That's part of the privacy policy, a specific line that needs to be in there. And then any DBA names used are clearly displayed if applicable. So next you're going to click review application, and then you'll be brought to this page where you'll review your information. And then you're going to scroll down and click submit application. Then after that, you'll be brought to this page where you can see that the brand is in progress, and within a couple minutes, it will be then approved. But you can click over here on brands and campaigns. It'll take you to the brand section, and then it'll say in progress. Just refresh the page a couple times for over a minute or two. Then you'll see it'll come back and it'll say approved. Once that's approved, then we can go over to campaigns, and then the campaign should start automatically. If it doesn't, then you click on create campaign here. And what that's going to do is that's going to take you over to your use case again here. All the information should already be filled in. So just go ahead and click on continue, and you'll get to this page. Then you'll go down, check this box now, just verifying that. And you'll click on review application, and then the campaign will be submitted. The campaign can't be submitted until the brand status is approved. So once that's approved, then you can submit the campaign status. And then once you've submitted your campaign, now it's just a waiting game. So come back and check within, say, 1 to 2 days. You should come back and should see it approved. And at that point, you'll be ready to go to send text messages. And the next two things I recommend doing is the shake and stir. This is only for calling, whereas the A2P messaging is just for text messaging. But the calling too, this is going to help the caller ID authentication to reduce call blocking and spam labeling. So all you have to do is, once the brand is approved, you come over here, click on start registration, and all you're going to do is essentially put in whatever the name you want to show up on the customer end's phone, basically your business name. So I recommend doing that, clicking submit on that one. Next is CNAM. This is another thing for the voice. This displays your business name on the outbound caller ID. Both of these are essentially going to put in the same business name, but what that does is it just helps your call answer rate, makes you look more like a business and less like spam and not just a random number calling out. Another thing you can do is voice integrity. This is a fairly new feature, so you can do this, which improves your caller ID reputation, reduces spam tagging. So again, just go through that registration process and get that registered. The main thing here for this video is the A2P, which is the brand and campaign. Once those are done, then you're good to go and you can start sending text messages. Okay, now we finished the A2P 10DLC registration for the business, but now if you're a sole proprietor, it's slightly different, so we're going to cover that real quick. We'll go to start registration here, and this will be if you selected no, the business I'm registering does not have a tax ID. So slightly different here. This you're going to put in, if you don't have a business name yet, put in your first and last name. Pick a business name that you're going to be using or your first and last name, either way. Because now this registration is going to be tied to you and not specifically a business. So you're going to put in your address here, put that in, go to continue, and then authorized representative, same thing as before. The difference on this one is, again, don't use the same email for more than 5 brands. Private email domains are not eligible for sole proprietor brand registration, make sure you're using a public domain email. Example, Gmail, not G Suite, Hotmail, and Yahoo. So what this is saying is if you have a business email, you can't use that in here because technically as sole proprietor, you wouldn't have, say, a business. So in here, this needs to be a Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, some email like that. You put that in, again, you're limited 5. There's that, and then also your phone number. Now, again, this phone number needs to be a phone number that you can be reachable at. So this has to be a phone number that's tied back to you. It can't be some online phone number that you bought, a Twilio number, aka an online business number. You can't use that. It has to be a specific phone number tied back to you based on your cell phone, your registration, again, tied back to you. Because after the step, you're going to get a text message from the TCR, the campaign registry, basically just saying, hey, are you registering? Reply back with, I think it's like reply back with yes. And that's actually a process of this part of the approval process. So we'll go continue here. Then you're going to get here, which is the same part as the business part, the sole proprietor brand or the sole proprietor campaign. This one, you actually don't get a choice. You only get one, and you only get 3,000 segments per day. So that's why if you have a business, one, you have to register as a business, even though it may seem like sole proprietor is easier. But you're also limited. You have less segments you can send per day. Ideally, you want to get registered as a business. Also, important note here, only one number is allowed to be linked to a sole proprietor campaign. Once approved, your default number will be linked automatically. You can also update the number post-approval. And then so the pricing, again, is going to be the same thing here, except for the additional campaign fee is a little bit cheaper. But again, you're limited on what you can do with the sole proprietor registration. Check the box, click continue, and then we're going through pretty much the same details as before. So brand name, industry, phone number. Not going to have the EIN in here because you're not registering as a business. We'll click continue. And then you're going to have the same thing as before, campaign use case description, two sample messages. You're going to check these boxes, continue, and then same thing as the other one. How do contacts opt into messages, opt-in message, and then your form of collection. So this whole campaign details, this is all going to be the same as the business registration. The difference between sole proprietor and business is going to be more in the brand details, as you saw here. But once you've completed that, then you'll be registering as a sole proprietor. Now, the last part of this video, we're going to go over the toll-free registration. Again, this is also very similar to the A2P registration, but toll-free is if you're using a toll-free number, which is a number that starts with 888, 866, 833, I think even 1-800 numbers, any of those, you can do a toll-free registration. These are more of other type of business phone numbers. But the registration process is slightly different for this. So instead of going to the trust center, you're going to go here, which once you get the phone number, and now each toll-free number has to be registered. So if you get 5 numbers in your account, you got to register all 5 of those numbers. Whereas A2P, once you're approved, your business is approved, then any phone numbers you add in here, they're automatically added to that registration that you've already done. But for toll-free, you'll click on verify or registration, and then go through here and fill this out. So legal entity name, your business name, the opt-in URL, same thing that we did before. First name, last name, email, phone, continue business account. Again, you're also going to put in your business location, so the address. And then the next thing is here, it's a little bit simpler. So you're going to be choosing what your estimated monthly volume is. Probably would choose, say, 1,000. Your use case, opt-in type, we're going to choose web form, put in the link in here. The use case description, you can use the same one that I used up here. This will work as well. We'll come back here, paste that in, make sure we put in the link here. So let's do this. And then the message content, I'll just use my first sample message here and we'll paste that in. Make sure we put in the business name and then the phone number. I'll actually put in what that 188 number is. So we'll say 888 555 333. Again, you also need in here the same requirements. So you need the customer's name, your name, business name, and then the opt-out language, reply, stop, don't subscribe. So once you fill all this out, check I agree to terms of service, and then click send information for verification. And then this, again, will also take about 1 to 3 days to come back, but then you'll check right here to see when it's approved. But then you can start sending text messages from your toll-free number. So that concludes this video, the A2P 10DLC registration process, as well as the toll-free registration process. Hope this video helped out, cleared some things up, showed you some techniques and tips to get you and your clients registered for A2P. If you have any other questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. I'll reply back to them and I'll help you out with that. And go ahead and join my community. You'll see a link down in the description. You go ahead and do that, which you'll get this whole template and snapshot you can import right into your account. With that being said, I'll see you on the inside and I'll see you on the next video.